Do you ever feel like you're going crazy? I hope potential employers don't see this. Anyway, so I've been on the internet. Let's talk about what I guess is a Mandela effect. So, I was watching this unpronounceable, but very great channel here, and they were talking about High Brazil, Phantom Island. This is off the coast of Ireland, and it features in several myths. And I was watching this video, and I was like, wait, Damar doesn't exist either? This just really stuck out, because you had this Phantom Island, and then you had this other island that I don't remember seeing. Well, who or what is Damar? Well, it's spelled different, but it's this cat. So, this guy from Star Trek. So, High Brazil. Brazil refers to redwood, something like that. And that's how Brazil became named much later. Anyway, we look off the coast of Ireland. We see Isle of Man, United Kingdom. Spaced out a little bit more, as though they might have drifted. But, yeah. I don't see either of these islands. And then I'm looking at the map, and I'm like, what is this? Sardegno? Sardegnia? Now, okay, I went to public school. This is Corsica. I had heard of Palma, but I remember Palma being really kind of small. And then I'm just looking at this map, and it just does not look right. So I remember the Mediterranean being much like a shape like this. I do not remember this crazy shape here. Like, what do you even call this shape? Okay. I distinctly remember this, and it was kind of like basically smooth on the top of Africa. And I do not remember gigantic islands just in the way. There's a big empty space in the middle, what I remember. And there's this giant island that is... Gosh. It's half the size of Ireland. And you look at it, and it's like beautiful. It's got like... Let's see if we can find some images here. Beautiful beaches, and there's like... I remember pulling this up, and there were like rock formations and just all kinds of stuff. Beautiful city. I have never heard of this. And you think you would notice this because, so the reason the Mediterranean was such an important deal is because of water travel, okay? So everything coastal had a huge advantage as opposed to, the reason Africa stayed poor, aside from the white man, basically, coming to distill resources, because it didn't have rivers and waterways, and it's just really hard to trade and traverse. But it's easy to have a port and transfer goods around. So I think the Dutch had a huge... They were like the trading leaders of the world for a while, and then it was France and Spain, and then the Roman Empire, actually before that, and then the British. I sort of have the American Empire, which is going away. But, yeah, I just feel like if there were these gigantic, even Palma, with the size of it, and these other islands, which I've never heard of. I mean, yeah, I wasn't an amazing student. I was, straight A's in math and science. But this kind of stuff just bewildered me. But I definitely would have remembered. I don't remember this being this shape either. Could just be the way it's protected. I don't remember these gigantic islands just in the way. So, like, you hear about people coming like Alexander the Great and Caesar coming from Rome to Egypt. Okay, maybe Greece is kind of in the way. Even this seems kind of big. I just do not remember these islands popping up. Or this coastline. Just the shape just seems very very wrong to me. And then I was like re-reviewing Gulf of Mexico, and how when I was a kid, Cuba was tiny. And it was very much like a square more, where this, it was like a square shape, and then Cuba was tiny. And yeah, there were other islands, but look at the size of the Dominican Republic. It's like the size of Florida. Not a good or bad thing. I don't remember these islands being big. There were these tiny little islands, just like Jamaica was just like, you know, big enough for a couple of pirate ships and, I don't know, some sugar plantations, and that's about it. And I was just looking at the planet, and I'm like, okay, let's have a bit of fun. Let's go see what's going on the South Pole. And the first thing I notice is there's this big circle. I'm like, what is this circle? Well, the circle is no map. So I go to satellite, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, didn't even see this before, this discoloration, but I'm looking, I'm like, okay, last time I looked, these look like water, blue. These may be shadows. So I'm just like, hey, can I get some detail with your satellites? And the answer is no. No, you cannot have any detail. And the reason this just seems preposterous to me is because the way that satellites map the world is they go around the world like this, right? But you can imagine sort of front to back, right? They're going like, let's say like this, and they come around the back, and they pop up the top. And then as the world turns, you can then capture every single part of the Earth, which is why the orbits for these type of mapping satellites have the kind that they do. Know a little bit about satellites, took a class, did some study and whatnot. But there is a reason that they travel along that path. And the reason is, also there's no North Pole. Look at this. The way it's mapped, looks like it's stretched where Greenland actually touches the North Pole, just about. Now, I know the climate people will be telling you that these glaciers have melted, but I assure you, there's plenty of ice up there that they have to break through. For example, up here in the north, there's ice all along the coast here, all along the coast. Actual ice, even today. So this is a false color map. That's fine. They're showing the bottom of the ocean, but can they map that with radar through the ice? Maybe they can. Like, I'm willing to believe that, but I'm just like, why can I not see? Just as a matter of scientific curiosity, can I just see the snow? Can I just see the ice? There's a Concordia station. Okay. They mapped part of it. I mean, it's not like this data is expensive to store. I mean, think about how much data I'm wasting just storing this. Okay, what's the scale of this? Okay, I can look at individual buildings, probably individual people. Very curious what these lines are. See, now I'm just curious, and I really want to know. These look like low frequency, long range radar. We've got some very interesting patterns on the ground here. It doesn't look at all like copy and pasted fractals, but it looks like... I just wonder what the prevailing wind direction is, and why you have dunes in one direction, not another. I mean, is that crazy to want to know about the South Pole? I mean, we're spending money, we're sending people down there. You can watch these YouTube videos of how people eat in the South Pole, and they've got these chefs, and they've got all this stuff. They've got one detailed satellite picture. Can I just see what's going on? Well, there's colors indicating some kind of topography. The answer is no, you cannot see. Stop asking questions. Alright, guys, that's a couple different topics. But yeah, let me know if you think this map looks correct to you. Yeah. And I've got to add on. So, Corsica, I obviously heard of. So this is where they sent Napoleon just to kind of be banished. But I recall Corsica being like somewhere up here, right? Also, this was flatter and more east-west. I remember Corsica being up there, and it was pretty small. And the reason Corsica was small, or I guess the reason Napoleon was banished there, was because it was so small, right? It's like, get out of here. You're not, I don't know, in the middle of a bunch of traffic lanes on a nice big island with multiple cities and beautiful views. It was supposed to be like a crappy place where he was stuck, right? Out of the way where no one would visit him. So, the story makes much less sense when Corsica is huge and right off the coast and in the middle of the Mediterranean. Let me know what you think.